everybody, welcome back. Today we are getting into something that I have been putting off for so long to do, and this is part 3 of my makeup collection series. Down here we are in the 4th drawer, which contains all of my blushes, bronzers, contours, highlighters, and over off to the side, which I'm not showing just yet, is my lipstick collection, which is going to be in a separate video of its own because it is it's quite large. It's a pretty big lip collection. Again, if you watch my other 2 previous videos, which I will link those up below and down below as well, you can see that I keep all of my stuff organized in these little plastic tubs. It is kind of messy in here because running out of room. I've got to do some rearranging. I need some more drawers, so things are just kind of getting thrown and smashed in there. But we're going to go through this tub by tub and let's get into it. So the first tub I'm going to start off with is this little one here, which kind of contains these larger trio type or duo type things that are very large. These 3 right here are limited edition. These are Wet n Wild from spring 2015 launch, I believe. These are the color Icon Blush and Go Trios. This first one here is in Solar Powered. I love all of these. I wish they would bring them back. Next up is Sunset Junction. And then probably what is my absolute most favorite one of them all is the combo or the trio in Fair Trade Coffee. The next one up here, this is from City Color. This is the Sun Kiss Trio, and this one is in the shade Bronzed Peach. Blush, bronzer, and highlight. The blush and the bronzer in both of these are completely matte, and the highlight, not much to look at in the pan, but it's actually really pretty. Next little tub we're going to get into here is my bronzers and my contouring palettes, and one of my contouring palettes fell out into the blush because I don't have enough room in this stuff for them. So we'll go through these. First 2 I'm going to start off with are the Color Icon Duos from Wet n Wild. This one is in Dulce de Leche. I use this probably the most. This is probably my absolute favorite one of the 2. And then this second one here is in Caramel Toffee. Next one we have up is in the shade Bikini Contest. This is from the Color Icon. It's kind of a satiny type finish, but I really do like this one for just bronzing all over. Probably my holy grail of bronzing contouring shades would be this puppy right here, which has got major pan on it. This is the NYC Smooth Skin, and this is in Sunny. It only comes in the one shade Sunny. Another one I really love from NYC, this is the Color Wheel Mosaic. This one is in the shade All Over Bronze Glow. And yeah, we've got some pan on that one too. I've used this quite a bit. Looks like I broke it a little bit here on the side, but swished all together, they just come out with a really good bronzy shade. I'm not going to swatch these. I promised myself I wouldn't. Next up here I have the Rimmel All Natural Bronzer. This one is in Sun Bronze. Now they come in 2 different types. They come in matte and they come in glittery finish, and this is one of the matte finish ones. Next up, this one is from City Colors. This is just called the Matte Bronzer, and it is very deep. It's really good for contouring. I can only use this though in the summertime because it's way too deep for my skin tone right now. Now for the next bronzer palette here, we have the e.l.f. bronzer. This is the 4 different shades in here. You have 2 shimmers, 2 mattes. Really love this stuff. Such good quality. Use it a lot. And last but not least, we have the e.l.f. contouring palette, which is, I think, my holy grail of all contouring palettes, we'll say. You've got your 2 contour shades down here, which are both matte. Very nice. I definitely use this one more. There's a big divot in it. Getting close to pan. You got this really good banana shade up here. I really like to use this for setting my under eyes. And then this highlight shade's not bad either. I just don't use it as often. Now we're going to get into my blushes, and I'm almost positive they are all in here. Let's start off with my 2 e.l.f. blush palettes. I love these to death. I love everything to death. That's why it's in my collection. This is the light one, what's considered light. Now this doesn't mean that it's for light skin tones per se. This just means it's lighter colors, and I think people get confused with that. And this one is the one in dark, which again, like I said, not for dark skin tones per se, but the colors are much more deeper and more pigmented. I don't think very fair people though would really be able to pull these off. Well, you could, you just have to be light-handed. Next I'm going to do my e.l.f. contouring blush and bronzer duos. The first one up here is Antigua. I really like this blush in here. Now we have the cream set. Look at that. This could be a little bit more panned. This is probably the second or third one of these I've gone through. This is the cream contour and blushing set in St. Lucia. This is the powder set in St. Lucia, so it's a lot different kind of color with it, which is why I think I prefer the cream one a little bit more. I think the color is a little bit richer. And then last but not least here we have Fiji, which is, I just think, stunning. This is the one that's all matte. It used to be really hard to find for like a long time, but now it's pretty easy to find. You can find these at Target. That's where I found this one. Next up is the only e.l.f. Studio blush I have. This is the one in the shade Blushing Rose. Supposed to be a dupe for NARS Dolce Vita. Next up are my City Color Be Matte blushes. This one is in the shade Blood Orange, Fresh Melon, Dragon Fruit. And then this one again doesn't have a name. This also came in that trio pack that came with like the contouring bronzer. So it's just a pretty kind of pinky peachy blush color. Now we're going to get into my favorite ever, my Wet n Wild Color Icon blushes. First one up is Fantastic Plastic Pink. It's the only one I have in the new formula. But it's just a really pretty pink glittery. Honestly, I bought this because its named is Fantastic Plastic Pink. Next up is Mellow Wine. Again, like I said, this is old packaging, old formula, but still such a great blush. This one I think is the most iconic of them all. This one is Pearlescent Pink. It's supposed to be a dupe for NARS Orgasm, and I think this is just probably the most iconic one they're known for, but yes, Pearlescent Pink, and it's only panned because I broke the corner off. Now on to kind of cream blushes. I have 4 here of the e.l.f. HD blushes. I really do like these. You just have to be very careful. Superstar, Encore, Showstopper, and Diva. The last 4 are just kind of a mixture of blushes here. So we're going to start off. This is old Wet n Wild Fergie collection packaging, and this one is in the shade Brush with Danger. This is the Physicians Formula Happy Booster in Natural. Makeup Revolution, the Matte Blush in Fusion. And last but not least, this is one of the new City Colored Baked Blush, and this one is in the shade Rose. Last but not least, we have our highlighter bin. Let's start off with the e.l.f. Illuminating Palette. I have 2 here from Wet n Wild in the old Fergie packaging, but they are still available. They're just repackaged. This one is Rose Champagne Glow. And this one is Hollywood Boulevard. This is one of the limited edition from 2016 spring. This is the Wet n Wild Geometric Highlighting Powder in Desert Explorations. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer. Yeah, bronzer. This one is in the shade Reserve Your Cabana. Definitely a highlighter, not a bronzer. I have found on YouTube people have a love-hate relationship with this. This is the Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter. This one is in the shade Radiant Lights. I've not tried the others, but I really, really do like this one. We have a broken, well, the case is broken. This is the Hard Candy Glow All the Way Bronzer in Tiki. Again, not a bronzer, definitely a highlight. This little guy here came with that City Colors Trio. This is just called their Shimmer Highlight. So it doesn't really have a name. It came with that trio with the contour and the blush. This is the e.l.f. Baked Blush in Pink-tastic, but it is definitely a highlight shade and not a blush. Last up, we have my 2 Holy Grail powder formulas. This one I just recently gotten featured in my 2016 Best Of. This is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter in the shade Be My Highlight. Gorgeous. And for my absolute holy grail of highlighters, I've got to give it up to the Balm's Mary Luminizer. Just the best highlighty champagne goodness on the earth. Next up here, I've got like stick and cream type highlighters. These 2 are from e.l.f. These are the all over color sticks. I'm not sure if these are still available. This one is in Spotlight. And this one is in Pink Lemonade. Which this is more of kind of like a blush topper rather than an absolute highlight shade. I also have this little Laura Mercier Caviar stick in Rose Gold. And a Tristique Mini Highlight Stick. Next up are my 2 liquid highlighters. These are both from NYX. These are the Born to Glow Liquid Illuminators. The shades in these are in Sunbeam and Gleam. And honestly, these are both a dupe for Benefit's High Beam, this one, and Sunbeam, this one. Complete and total dupes for these. And that is my highlight collection. And so that is it. That is my blush, bronzer, contour, and highlight collection. I love doing these videos because you know what? I get to reorganize and clean everything up, and it always looks so much nicer when I'm done. I want to, of course, thank you for spending some time with me today, as always, and going through my makeup collection. I promise that soon I'm going to pan over. We will be getting into that little sneaky peeky of what's over there. And that's not all of them. There are more in other places as well. So again, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. As always, I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.